This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, starting at verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, Write the vision, and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. It seems to be turning out that DJ Trump, is setting up, his cabinet so that all these technocratic individuals can be in position, to ultimately implement the MOTB, man. First and foremost, before I get started, I want to thank Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, for putting the spirit on me, push the button. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakakadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles and the elders of GMS who teach and rule well, who taught me his truth. Salutation, brothers and sisters that are out there listening and learning, fighting this good fight of faith. And salutation, my fellow brethren that are pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. To you all, I want to say shalom. An open prayer that this lesson be edifying to the elect. So, I have this article I want to read a little bit of, and I have a couple videos that I want to show. And, as it says in 2 Corinthians 2:11, let's get it. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Right? So, because we're watching, we're seeing, what these devils are up to. We're seeing, little pieces being put together right before our very eyes, man. So let me, through the spirit, show what I'm speaking about. So this is from Zero Hedge. It was published today, Wednesday, November 13th, 2024, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, as coined by the beloved Apostle Tahar. And it reads, the Manhattan Project of our time. Now, the Manhattan Project is basically what Oppenheimer was a part of. And for you brothers and sisters that seen that movie, he's known as the father of I believe nuclear power, if I'm not mistaken, his title. But he has a quote saying he's the destroyer of worlds. He's the one that helped create the the atomic bomb. And that was a major change in how the world operated from that time. So maybe, I'm just speculating that's what they mean, because this new, well, let's read it. Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy to head Department of Government Efficiency, or Dodge. And these two, well, most people know Elon Musk, but this guy Vivek, they're, from my understanding, well, Vivek is also a tech guy, and this is leading to that fourth industrial revolution, where they have, well, let's read it. Let's get the definition for technocracy. Technocracy definition. And it reads,
Technocracy.
The government or control of society or industry by an elite of technical experts. So that's the government control of society, right? Technocracy, right? So that's what these individuals that Trump is picking, are being put in place. So let's read some of this. It says, Elon Musk and Vivek have been selected by President-elect Donald Trump to head the Department of Government Efficiency, or Dodge, or DOG, where they will slash excess regulations, cut wasteful expenditures, and restructure federal agencies, according to an official release from the Trump-Vance transition team, which called this potentially the Manhattan Project of our future, or of our time, According to the statement, their work will conclude no later than July 4th, 2026, the nation's 250th anniversary. And brothers have been speaking about how the average length of kingdoms is about 250 years, man. So all these prophecies are lining right up. Musk previously predicted he could cut at least $2 trillion from the U.S. federal budget, while Vivek suggested firing federal workers based on their Social Security numbers. Here's how: if Social Security number ends in an odd number, you're fired, he wrote on X. On day one, instantly fired 50% of federal bureaucrats. Here's how: if your Social Security number ends in an odd number, you're fired. That downsizes government by half. Absolutely nothing will break as a result. It doesn't violate civil service rules because mass layoffs are exempt. Yeah. So they're basically, saying that they don't, basically trimming the fat, so to speak. Maybe there's people that don't agree with things. Maybe there's, they want to run a tighter ship as they transition into this new fourth industrial revolution, which could be part of it. It's funny how he specifically said odd and not even, so we just have to wait and see. It says, let me see, he talks more about that. About cutting the workforce. Let's see, this will send shockwaves, government waste. Right, so they're coming off as being, righteous or doing the right thing, right? And even the scriptures say, how's it go? Even Satan. Second Corinthians 11 and 14. And I'll get into AMP. And no wonder, since Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light. So the adversary himself can walks around and acts like a angel of light, man. So it's no different with these damn devils, man. They're painting a picture as if they're here to help, but meanwhile, they have a whole agenda. And this is the possible logo. I'm not sure. I guess we'll see. But yeah. So let's get this video, and then I'll get this video from the IG. So this is from Rethinking the Dollar, and it says Technocrats take over. Now let's get that real quick. This is all about edifying. So what is a technocrat? So a technocrat definition. So a technocrat is an exponent or advocate of technocracy. So that's pretty much what it means. Technocrats are individuals with technical training and occupations who perceive many important societal problems as being solvable with the applied use of technology and related applications. So Elon would indeed be a technocrat. So without further ado, so this is fair use. This is from the brother Mike, Rethinking the Dollar, and it says Trump taps technocrats. Is this the future of America? So let's get a couple some of this video. So without further ado, here we go.
Well, it looks like the digital revolution will be televised, as President-elect Trump has just nominated Elon Musk and Vivek to help clean up some of the bureaucracy in our government by ultimately replacing it with a technocratic takeover instead. And it's the idea of having these two gentlemen here and their troubled past as his advisors that should have us all concerned. Let's talk about this. In the political sphere regarding President-elect Trump and his desire to make America great again. And so far as of right now, when you look through X at some of the names that he's associating himself with and his advisory board, not quite sure how he's draining the swamp, but more so expanding the swamp. Or is the swamp evolving into something more technical by leveraging technology, heading into this monetary reset that I talk about so often?
Right. Monetary reset. We always, brothers speaking about this, we mentioned central bank digital currencies, we mentioned UBI, mentioned digital IDs, social credit scores, and all these different things. And all of these things are different points or different, what's the word I'm looking for? Subjects, for lack of a better word, are all tied in to ultimately bringing in the CHIP, which is the rice device, which is the MOTB, right? The mark, the Charagma, that the Revelation 13 and 16 on down speaks about. All of this is happening simultaneously. They're cutting all these jobs. They're bringing in all these this AI that's taken over different jobs, and Elon himself is an advocate for these different machines that he's been these humanoid robots that are taking over these different jobs. So you put this guy in a position that has this company Tesla with these machines. You put him in a position of power that he can control. He's involved in the finance. It's not hard to tell that he would be a very strong component to be pushing towards that UBI, because even he himself, I mentioned it in a different video, has mentioned UBI. Matter of fact, let me see if I can grab it. Slocky, 1 second. Slocky, here it goes. So it says, Elon Musk says universal basic income, UBI, is going to be necessary.
There will be fewer and fewer jobs that a robot cannot do better. Okay. What to do about mass unemployment? This is going to be a massive social challenge. And I think ultimately we will have to have some kind of universal basic income. I don't think we're going to have a choice.
Universal basic income.
Universal basic income. I think it's going to be necessary.
So it means that unemployed people will be paid across the globe.
Yeah.
Because there is no job, machine, robot is taking over.
That's simply and I want to be clear that these are not things that I think that I wish would happen. These are simply things that I think probably will happen. And if my assessment is correct and they probably will happen, then we need to say, what are we going to do about it? And I think some kind of a universal basic income is going to be necessary.
Right. So this double, they have already been planning these things. As a matter of fact, let's get that scripture. Let me see. Psalm 64. And I'll start at 1. A psalm of King David. Hear my voice, O power, and my prayer. Preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Excuse me. Who whet their tongue like a sword, and bend their bows and shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. And the perfect is the Israelites, man. Suddenly do they shoot at him, and fear not. They encourage themselves in the evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. The heart meaning the mind, man. You know, so they are indeed a cunning hunter, man. Let's get that in the NOT, Psalm 64 and 6. As they plot their crimes, they say, we have devised the perfect plan. Yes, the human heart and mind are cunning. The Edomite mind and is cunning, right? The Edomites are known as a cunning hunter. So that's what these devils are up to. So let's get back to this video.
So I have 4 or 5 articles I want to share with you, all referencing how it's my personal opinion, how there's a lot of shady activity going on behind the scenes that the American people may not be aware of, and it might just come back to bite us all in the butt. And so as always, this is just my opinion. I hope I'm 100% wrong, but then again, I'm not actually critiquing or judging the person itself. I'm more so looking at the fruit that falls from the tree, and that tells a lot about the original seed that was planted in the ground that grew to produce that fruit. So as always, if you guys want to see more of these little short takes, definitely hit that thumbs up. Trump names Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy to head the Department of Government Efficiency, which is considered the Manhattan Project of our time. And so exactly what is going on here? Let's read through it. It says President Trump has officially tapped Elon Musk to dismantle the $6.5 trillion bloated U.S. bureaucracy by spearheading the newly created Department of Government Efficiency. Trump made this bombshell announcement yesterday, saying that Musk will co-lead the Manhattan Project of our time with former Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy. Then he goes on to say, this will send shockwaves through the system and anyone involved in government waste, which is a lot of the people, Musk said in a statement. Then he goes on to say the Manhattan Project was the famed research project directed by J. Robert Oppenheimer that resulted in the development of the first nuclear weapon. Republicans have long complained about the government overspending, and Trump touted that the Doge will accomplish its goal by July 4th, 2026. And so there we have a quick little layout as to what this whole new department will actually look like. And the goal is to trim off some of the fat to make our government run smoother. But then again, how will they actually do that?
Right, so they're trying to, well, just act as if they're doing something righteous, you know, but in actuality, they're still setting up this one world government, one world religion. There's different videos, different things coming out about that with the Pope, different things he's been saying, and ultimately one world currency. So let's get this clip right quick from IG, from Elon Musk. Hold on 1 second, Salakia.
Over time, it would.
Here it goes right here. It says Elon Musk says if done right, X will become half of the global financial system.
Essentially, if done right, the X would serve people's financial needs to such a degree that over time it would become, I don't know, maybe half of the global financial system.
Wow.
Or some big number. Okay. I'm not sure what the number is, but pretty big. So it would be by far the biggest sort of financial institution. But like I said, not really in the way that people are used to thinking about banks. Mm-hmm. Just the most efficient database for the thing that is money. They said like least amount of fraud. Everything's real time. And if it involves money in any way, it can be dealt with seamlessly on one location.
Right. So, and of course, they're going to say that, you know, it's in order to the betterment of the people, like you said, less fraud, everything in real time. But what they're not saying is the surveillance aspect, the control aspect, how the people are, what they're going to have to do in order to be a part of this system. That's what they're not saying. So let's get a little bit more.
And then that's where we get into the whole technocratic side of things, where Elon Musk and Vivek, both very analytical and very knowledgeable guys in their respective fields. But of course, I personally approach everything with the ultimate measure of skepticism, just because even though both of those gentlemen were a part of Trump's campaign trail, I don't doubt that anyone is capable of changing their mind or changing their ways. But then again, when you look at their past and you look at how both of them have benefited tremendously off of our government overspending through their own personal private endeavors, whether it be Elon Musk with government subsidies and grants that he's gotten from our government, which has basically made him the richest fiat holder on the planet. And then with Vivek, his early connection with Peter Thiel in the pharmaceutical area, especially pertaining to all the craziness we've witnessed over the last couple of years when it comes to the mRNA stuff, it only naturally leaves me a little bit skeptical of all of their intentions. And of course, I'm not the only one. Here's a comment from David Icke, someone that I follow on Twitter and someone I have a lot of respect for, because this gentleman here has done a great job of educating the masses, calling out all the hidden agendas and the outright blatant agendas by those in positions of power that have been orchestrating and conducting all this craziness that we've witnessed over the last several decades. And so he's a man that speaks from the heart and tells it like it is. And so this is a comment that he shared. It says, Trump gives Peter Thiel's AI mate Musk and Thiel's business associate Ramswamy new job in the government running the Manhattan Project of our time to dismantle Washington's bureaucracy and waste, dismantling regulation to facilitate the human fusion agenda and much else besides.
Right. So it is all about with these devils, merging man with technology. This is from the World Economic Forum. And it says, in the intelligence age, a time for cooperation. And this was, let me see. This is published September 24th, 2024, this year, a couple months ago. So it says, let's see, it says, the intelligent age is upon us. These converging technologies are reshaping the very fabric of our world, demanding shift, adaptation, and global cooperation. And they always keep talking about the whole planet, he calls it all, both small and great, right? So this is the hour of temptation is going to come upon the whole planet. It's not going to be just here in Babylon. It's going to be over there in Europe and Africa, Russia, China, you name it, Australia. It says, for this transformation to develop rather than divide society, right? Because they're in the spirit of the Tower of Babel, when everybody comes together and worships, one God and has one currency and one religion, and all this bullshit. That's what they're attempting to do, which is not gonna work. The Lord said He's gonna let's get that enterprise. Job 5:12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise, man. But these devils are only going to go so far, man, before Bahasham Yahawashi brings them all crashing down. It says, for this transformation to develop rather than divide society, it must go well beyond technological advances to actually enhance human potential. It is imperative that we develop environmental, social, and geopolitical intelligence alongside technological intelligence. It says AI and automation are already disrupting entire industries, and healthcare AI-driven systems are outperforming humans for benefits of patients. And diagnostics AI is helping doctors reach more accurate decisions, plowing through vast data sets to discover new drugs and develop personalized treatments plans based on genetic information, agriculture, so on and so forth, man. So they're laying, putting it out there that in order to further society, the digital world has to be implemented into society. There's no other way. This is what these devils are saying. It says, with the rise of the metaverse and virtual worlds, the line between the digital and physical is becoming increasingly blurred. Virtual spaces are emerging where people can work, socialize, and even own digital assets. What? Own digital assets? Now, if I'm not mistaken, Sleepy Creepy Joe has signed a bill. Let's see if I can get it. Here it goes. Executive Order 14067, ensuring responsible development of digital assets. So we are not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. All these devils are working for the same team. They're working for the same devils, man. It doesn't matter what side you vote, blue or red. It's two wings of the same filthy ass bird. All of these things are tying in. It says this swift toward let me see. Virtual spaces and emerging where people can work, socialize, and even own digital assets, ushering in new forms of economic and social interaction. This swift towards a more blended reality may profoundly impact how we define personal space, property, community, blah, blah, blah. So that's it, man. It's all coming together, when it talks about, cooperation amongst all the different countries, and, global cooperation is essential if we are to steer this revolution toward a positive outcome, right? So it says we must create international frameworks for the governance of AI and emerging technologies, promote the responsible use of data, and ensure that all nations, regardless of their level of development, have a voice in shaping blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I mean, let me just read this. It says we have already crossed the threshold into the intelligence age. It is up to us to determine whether it will lead to a future of greater equality. Right, and this is the smooth words, that these devils speak, man. So let's get back to the video.
And then as I scroll down in his blog post here, I come across a guy by the name of Mazine, who wrote a very interesting piece talking about the truth behind Thiel and Musk. And in this article here, it goes on to say, Peter Thiel and Elon Musk, the deep state's double agents, unraveling the technocratic empire. And it's a very lengthy article, to say the least. It goes into great detail on this gentleman's analysis and breakdown on the business practices of both men and how they have benefited tremendously off the government bureaucracy over the last several decades. And now all of a sudden they want to come to the rescue of the American people and put a halt to this. Something seems a little bit off about this. And just to give you a quick summary of what some of the details are, here's a quick summary of it. And it goes on to say, Peter Thiel and Elon Musk are often portrayed as rebellious mavericks, but they're actually part of a larger system, not the self-made figures the media describes. Then it says deep state ties. Their careers have been shaped by deep state connections and military contracts, far from the independent image they project. Psychological operations. Musk followers are manipulated into celebrating free speech, victories, and small financial gains, unaware that they're part of a controlled narrative.
Right, so their fair speeches, are what's manipulating the people. Let's get that real quick. Where am I at? Is that Isaiah? Let's see. Psalms 55:21. The words of his mouth, the wicked, were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords, man. So they talk a good game, and they're gonna fool a lot of people. But for the elect, they're not gonna fall for this bullshit, man. They're gonna know what time it is and what these devils are up to. As the scriptures say, you never trust thine enemy. You got a damn Edomite and what appears to be Elamite, a red dot, East Indian, and you Jakes, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, you already know how the Edomites treat you, and you know how you get treated by these damn red dots, man. They don't care for you. They never have, and they never will. So why would you trust them?
part of a controlled narrative. And then it goes on to PayPal's origins. It says, founded on the financial surveillance disguised as innovation, PayPal merged Thiel and Musk company under the watch of tech investors linked to intelligence networks. Then it goes on to talk about Palantir. It says Thiel's data analytics firm, funded early by the CIA's venture capital, aligns closely with the global intelligence needs and participates in controversial surveillance practices. Then it goes on to talk about SpaceX and Starlink. It says Musk Ventures are promoted as pioneering space technologies, serve dual civilian and military purposes, supporting global defense strategies. And then it talks about the PayPal mafia. It says this network extends beyond Silicon Valley, influencing politics and media and closely connected to Israeli intelligence and cybersecurity firms. And then it says that this is all.
And it makes perfect sense that Elon would be linked up with the small hat, the Israel, the country of Israel, because that's exactly what Trump is doing. Trump clearly supports them, and he's hiring different, putting different individuals, staffing, within the Congress and what have you, on his team that are pro-Israel. So it's you could tell that this is all, they're all bought and paid for. This is all planned out. This is all of their scheme, their plot,
A libertarian facade. It says despite promoting libertarian ideals, Thiel and Musk companies benefit extensively from state contracts, contributing to surveillance infrastructure. And so ultimately speaking, it says this is about a global alignment. It says their projects support centralization efforts by globalist entities, integrating with agendas like digital IDs and enhancing global surveillance capabilities. And so within that quick summary right there, you have a...
There you go. You heard what he said. Linked up with integrating digital IDs, so you have the PayPal stuff going on, you have surveillance, tracking and tracing, and everything going digital. It all leads up to that rice device, man. This is all leading up to that rice device. Revelation 13:16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a Charagma, right? R to the I to the F to the D, C hip, in their right hand or in their foreheads. And also, Elon is the same one that has the brain C hip. So everything's lining up just perfectly, prophetically, man. Revelation 13:17, and that no man might buy or sell. You will not be able to participate in society. You won't be able to have no UBI. You won't be able to sell anything. You won't be able to buy anything. You will not be able to participate in society at all, except save he that had the Charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. 666. That's the time that we're living in. And DJ Trump is putting these type of individuals that are all about technocracy, which lines up with the WEF plan, to have a intelligence age, the fourth industrial revolution, man. So all these things are tying in. We're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to blow the trumpet on this, put the warning out there, watch these damn devils, and see what they're up to. Continue to watch as well as pray, as the scriptures say. So I hope and pray that this lesson was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to thank Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi once again for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. And I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakal. I want to give double honor to the apostles and the elders of GMS who teach and rule well, who taught me his truth. Salutations, you brothers and sisters that are out to listen and learning, fighting this good fight of faith. Keep fighting, keep striving, keep pushing. Do not take that MO to the TB, man. Do not take that MO to the TB, that mark of the beast, man. Read Revelation 14th chapter 9 and 10. And salutation, my fellow brethren that are pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. To all, I want to say shalom. I want to say a Baba Ball and Kwam Yasharala. Hey, shalom. To the next one.